Hey everybody, I am late. And here's why. I just got a hung drum. You probably don't know what that is. It's spelled Hang, like hang, and drum, Drum. So I'm about to start a whole series of Facebook Lives that will be also on my YouTube channel because you have been asking me to tell you about what I do when I'm not writing or how to help my writing. And also, I've been asking questions about my morning routine. People are like, well, what do you do? And I was like, well, that depends on my evening routine. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm not going to be doing the best lighting today because it was like Christmas today. Because I have wanted a hung drum. That's what it's pronounced. I wanted the original hung drum, which was made by monks. I believe, I could be wrong, up in Sweden or Switzerland, and I don't know the difference. That's because I'm so American. Pan art hang drum. They are located. So here's the story. First, my name is Dawn Monefusco, and I'm a transformational writing coach. Okay, Switzerland. And this is an awesome story. So you know how much I love telling stories. So back in like 2006, I had seen one of these. We're going to open it together. And I wanted one really badly. Well, it turns out the original hung drum makers were these monks in Switzerland, and the only way to get one was to write a letter to them and then be on a waiting list to get the drum, which would be handmade and sent to you, and they were about $1,500. And so, but it was going to be like a 2-year wait or more. So me and my boyfriend at the time, who's now one of my very best friends, Jason, he and I actually wrote the letter and attempted to get this letter to be on the waiting list for this. Now, way back then, I tell you what, $1,500 seemed like an impossibility. I was a school teacher and a social worker, and I was penny pinching and living from, paycheck to paycheck. And it was really just kind of one of those things. Like, would I ever spend that much money on an instrument for me? Like, I can understand other people doing it, but me. And so here it is. Oh, great story. So then in like 2009 or 10, no, it had to be 10, maybe 10 or 11, 12, somewhere in there, I wound up dating a guy in Colorado. And I remember I was at his place and I had friends in Colorado. So, I was flying back and forth. And I go, is that a hung drum? And he's like, yeah. I was like, is that a pan art hung drum? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh. And so I just sit there and I'm trying to play it. Hold on, let me shut the door. I'm recording. Yeah. Okay, so he had his hung drum, and I was so excited. It turns out like a few weeks later, or like maybe a month later, we dated for a few months, I was back at his place and I was like, hey, can I play with your drum? And he's like, oh, I sold it. And I remember at that moment, I was like, I can't date him. Like, I literally thought, I don't think I can date someone that sold their pan art hung drum, because I knew these were going to be collector's items. And I don't know, there was something that shifted in me where I was like, he's not a creative, he's not a musician, he doesn't like really understand the importance of energy and the importance of how these monks created this instrument, and how dare he not ask me first, like just to, like I knew he needed the money, but I was like, we could figure out other ways, like don't, because now they're like $18,000 and $10,000. So the good news is that there's a company in, I believe, America, let's look it up because I'm just learning, called Handpan. And I was at someone's land. Let's see where Handpan is. I'm not sure where Handpan is. Handpan's for sale. Let's see, Handpan made. They're made in the USA. I know that. Let's see, where are they from? Anyway, the point of this whole thing is Oh, in Nevada, looks like maybe Nevada, California. Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to look that up and put it in the comments. I thought it was in Colorado, actually, is where I thought they were being made, but I could be wrong, obviously. The reason that I'm telling you this is I believe in cross-training. There is such a need for cross-training when you're writing. I'm writing my book. My book is coming along great. I finally hit this turn in the book because it has to be done by December 1st, going to the editor on December 14th at 9 a.m. And I'm on this like strict deadline. And basically the book is about how to really open your channels and break through creative resistance. That for those of you that feel stuck, for those of you that are not following your dreams, for those of you that creatively, that don't realize that you are put on earth to be a creative, that you are born from creativity. Creativity is how you even got here. We are creations. We are the creative creations of God. And so for you not to embrace that creativity within you and open the channels, you're not living a full life. You're only living part of a life. And I guarantee you that's true. And I guarantee you there's a part of you that is just aching for being released of this, that there's this part of you that just feels like it's not quite in alignment. There's something missing. And usually it's your creativity. Now, it doesn't always come in the way you think. It doesn't always come in the packages you think. Sometimes you have to what I call cross-train. Like I bought here, for instance, here's another instrument that I don't play very well yet. And I'm not going to pretend to play it very well. I have a brand new Taylor Mini. So for the longest time I thought I can't play guitar because it's just a pain in the butt for my fingers. And since I do have, I broke this hand in a big oak door, but I've also was a competitive rock climber for 12 years. So my hands are a bit sore as I've gotten older. But now I'm learning my G, my C, my A minor, ooh, hitting that lower chord, my D's. So what am I doing? I'm cross-training. And I'm just playing chords. There's nothing. Sometimes I write songs, and I write songs like this. I heard that the Beatles, this is my gym shirt, by the way, in case you're wondering. The Beatles used to write songs just using the words scrambled eggs. So I might cross-train today while I was writing my book. I'll cross-train by writing, hold on, I'm gonna make sure I can see you guys. I was cross-training, hey Elwie, by writing silly songs, but I was like, I don't really know like what I'm gonna write yet, but I don't have a pick with me, but I might do God, this is maybe a little out of tune. But I would do something like scrambled eggs, scrambled eggs, scrambled eggs, scrambled eggs, scrambled eggs, scrambled eggs. Oh, got me some really good scrambled eggs. So basically, that's a little too fast. And obviously, I'm not playing great. I didn't expect to be playing guitar on the show today. And I don't have my pick, but I will put together some scrambled egg songs and teach you a little bit about writing music using the words scrambled eggs. So apparently, as it goes, Strawberry Fields was actually, thanks Yvonne, it turns out that Strawberry Fields was actually scrambled eggs. So they just, basically did that. Now, for those of you that don't realize, the last few months, have been hard on me and a lot of people. So I was really, using November I had 49,000 words done in my book. I needed about 60,000 so I can cut back. And I'm going to be teaching, wait for it, this month and next month, a course called One Short Book. And it's going to be, I have oneshortbook.com. That's going to be a 4-week course in January, but I'm going to offer a free webinar and a free workshop to teach you how I wrote one short book, and in 48 hours I made $12,000 off of one short book. The more research I'm doing, the more I'm realizing and watching short books just blow up. Okay, short books are your way into getting known, getting seen, building an audience. These are books anywhere between 10, wait for it, 10 and 40 pages. Mine was, I think, 60 pages, which now I'm not even considering a very short book. And Yvonne, because she's in my one-on-one exclusive program, so I do one-on-one coaching, and if you do join with me as a one-on-one client, you have access to all my courses. So Yvonne, I think you'll have a good time in the One Short Book course. It will be recorded for you to see, because I do believe in starting off with micro wins. And I think when we start with micro wins, for instance, when I first picked up the guitar, because of the pandemic, I sold my big one because my shoulder was hurting. After 12 years of rock climbing competitively, I had really harmed my bicep to my shoulder. And then someone says, well, and I had a ukulele, but I wasn't that into ukuleles. They're like, you could just get a mini. So I started out like this. Like, okay. And then I was like, how do I get the F bar chord? Now it's not too bad. And every day I would practice just one chord. Every day, 5 minutes. Now, what did this do? 5 minutes. What it did was it reminded me that with just 5 minutes a day in 3 months, and I can actually play a whole bunch of songs. I just need to look at the music. I haven't memorized the songs yet. There's only so much I can do right this second. But you wait for it. I'll be memorizing my songs so that when the spring comes, I can play around the campfire. But what it reminded me of is with micro wins, with tiny little wins, I was able to build up the confidence to do this. Like, I would never have done this 3 months ago. I'd have been like, no freaking way am I going to pick up a guitar and even strum scrambled eggs on my show. No way. And now I'm starting to realize that these are the micro wins that I needed to remember, so that when I go back to my book, which was totally making me crazy, I was thinking I am so stuck. I was like, why am I so stuck? And it was because I was not really opening up the right side of my brain. I was staying in that left side. So what do? You write poetry. You write songs, you can pick up instruments, you can just dance in your living room. You can, I've been learning salsa dancing, which is really kind of silly and fun to do by yourself. I have some couple of good girlfriends that come over and we play and do some dancing. But there's really amazing ways that you can open up that right side of the brain. I'm going to talk about that a lot in the One Short Book courses that I'm going to be teaching you, that you can knock out a book in a weekend, you can knock out a book in a month, you can have an author's page, and it's no joke, you could get a bestseller badge from Amazon with 10 pages. So, and I'll show you examples of this. I'll show you all of it in the workshop. The webinar, we're getting the landing page ready. The registration for the webinar is going to be ready. Basically, we're gonna kill it for the end of 2020. I think that's really good millennial slang, right? We're gonna kill it, and we're gonna have a really, really good time embracing the idea that we do not need to write long books anymore to write quality books. You don't need to write a 200-page book, a 100-page book even. You could easily, and you can even write a short book and then expand it. I'm going to be going over why you don't even have to pay a dime, and you don't need to worry about an ISBN number if you just use Kindle, which is phenomenal. You can it's just, there's so much great information I'm going to share on the research I did and to share the success that I had doing it, which is why I'm just really, really kind of cheering on the short book. Now, the book I'm working on now is not short. The book I'm working on now about how to break through creative resistance, open the channels, and really step into your soul's calling. And that's not the title. I'm not going to give away the title just yet. But I was really stuck. I was like, I just don't know. I just don't know if I'm in the right direction. Turns out, if it wasn't for this and what I'm about to show you, the hung drum. Oh my God, I'm so excited. You're probably like, what does this have to do with writing? Everything. That's what's so crazy. I'm just going to see if we can get this back here. So I didn't buy one. Now I want to think about that for a second. Why didn't I buy a hung drum? Okay. They were up to $18,000 and $10,000 on eBay. And I was like, yeah, it's a little bit steep. I was like, no, I'm going to pay off some of my business debt first, which I'm almost done with, which is great. And then I realized that this company in the USA basically handpan made a bunch of hung drums, and they were only like $440. Ooh, Yvonne says I'm learning Spanish and French. Yes, it really does. Excellent point, Yvonne. Learning new languages totally opens up the right brain. It can be, so music is a language, right? Like guitar is an actual language so languages in terms of communication with other countries, that's using tones. Now I'm going to this is legit. Like a language is anything from ooh, ah, e, boo, boo, j, like those are sounds. Literally those sounds mean and could mean a language. I've tried to actually speak Vietnamese, which is incredibly interesting. I find that language to be incredibly interesting because of all the like little snaps and sounds and the weird motions that you make. And so I just try to like say thank you. Like when I do my nails now myself because of the pandemic, but when I would get my nails done, or I was in any kind of situation where I was in a market and there were, Vietnamese people, I kind of could keep up with it a little bit. When I say keep up, I mean understanding which of the languages I was listening to. And that in and of itself starts the right brain moving because it's new. It's not the same as the left brain is really linear. It's usually things we know, we're analyzing. So that would be where we're using our language to sort of make sense of the world. But when we start to learn new things, including languages, musical instruments, moving our body, like when I wanted to learn hula hoop tricks, I remember when I was 44, there was this 19-year-old who's one of my dearest friends now. She's like, I can't believe how old she is now. She's like 26, 27. Beautiful young woman, has her own photography, Alyssa Keys Photography, one of the best photographers on the West Coast. She was a hula hoop performer. She performed all over the place. And we were in Hawaii and I was like, I want to learn hula hoop. And it took me 90 days just to learn the trick of getting the hula hoop from my waist up to my chest and then kind of grabbing it over my head and then putting it back down. That took 90 days, about 3 hours a day, knocking myself in the face with a hula hoop, seriously, until finally it clicked. So that was another way that I was opening up my right brain. That's the cross training of creativity. Anything that's new and that's creative, that gets you to think outside your box, is going to open up that right brain. So this is the first time I'm going to be holding a hung drum, and it's mine, and I'm nervous, and I have wanted one my whole life. And here's the other thing that I want you to know. It wasn't supposed to get here till Monday, and I prayed. I literally said a prayer to God and Jesus today. I was like, God and Jesus, I know that everything happens in divine timing, but I want my drum to come today. I'm being a baby. But I literally prayed. I was just like, I was like, Holy Spirit, please. I was like, I know you know best, but wouldn't it be cool if you could just show me a miracle and have the drum come today? Partially because I feel that I don't know, I feel this like very deep calling to this drum. And lo and behold, out of nowhere, I got a message that said your drum is here. But it literally said it's not going to be here till Monday. And it's here. So don't forget to pray for miracles. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. I want you to hear that again. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. So you could pray for, obviously for your friends, for your family, for health. You can be grateful. You can pray for big things. You can also pray for small things. And small things sometimes are bigger things in disguise. So let's take a look at this. Oh my goodness. Holy moly, I can't open it. This is how nervous I am. I need to find a knife. Okay. And I do want to announce that I will be doing videos because everyone is so curious about what the heck I do when I'm not writing. So let's see. Okay, first, how cool is this? It comes in a case that I can wear on my back. See my belly? Okay. So here's the, okay. Another way that I messed with my right brain is by getting tattoos. I have another one coming for this arm. And part of what that does is it represents a new me. I've always wanted tattoos. I love them. I think they're beautiful. I love that the body is temporary. I don't love that the body is temporary, but the body is temporary. And to me, it's a representation after I turned 50 that I was no longer afraid of what my mother thought of me. Because I was really living in that world where, hold on, it's gonna be. I was living in the world where I thought I would be judged for being me. And I woke up at 50 years old and was like, no way, Jose, I'm stepping into the next part of my life, 100% me. And I am going to inspire as many people as I can. Look at how cool that is. This is so freaky. Let's see. I don't know if I'm holding it right. I've got to learn how to. I don't even know if I'm holding it right. I think there's like a very specific way you're supposed to hold it, because these circles are different. So you hit it. This is the main part. You can hear it. Can you hear it? This is a very light part. You can hear how it's like just a metal drum. Obviously, I don't know how to play drum yet. I used to, by the way. I definitely know my share of percussion. It does come with little, I don't know what you would call them. Not sticks, but those little. So there's tutorials, obviously, that I'm going to learn. There's all kinds of things. I think it's also really cold. I think it's supposed to be a little bit warmer. It's much bigger than I thought it was going to be, and I'm really excited about that. I thought it was going to be a really small one, but I wanted a bigger one. And I gotta learn the hum drum. So I'll be cross training by using this amazing instrument. And there's ways, oh yeah, this is the bass area. This is kind of the bell area. Like each part of this drum has different areas, and I'll be actually using loops of other drums to help guide me so I can add in the melody. So this is gonna be it's a process, you know? You're gonna maybe see me in a few months when I report back what my drumming will be like and how I'm gonna integrate that with my writing. So that is the big surprise for my cross training. And what I'm curious is, how do you cross train? What are some of the things that you're doing to really cross train your writing? Now, here's some cool stuff that's happening coming down the pipeline, which I want you to know. So you'll be getting a ton of emails if you're on my email list about next week's weekly, which is going to really go into my one short book class. My oneshortbook.com class. I don't think it's linked yet, the URL. I've had the URL for a long time, and I've had this project in mind for a long time. So we've been preparing it and really doing our research to give you the best state-of-the-art information on what it means to really create a solid short book so that you can start becoming an author instantaneously. Not instantaneously, but you can even write the book in a weekend, or you can write it within a month. And I'll be offering a free webinar. We're going to have a weekend workshop, and then we're going to have a longer 4-week class in January. There will be, for those of you that want to know about it, there will be some great Black Friday offers, so stay tuned for that. And I would say, you know, for a prompt today, if you really wanted to have a prompt, I would talk about what it means to cross train. So for like Yvonne, I would just write about how Spanish and French is opening up the channels within you to allow for more to come out. Because that's one of the things that I'm going to be focusing a lot on in 2021, is not just about breaking through resistance. It's not, that's like one part of it. But what happens after you break through the resistance? How do you stay open? How do you keep the channel flowing? Or in some ways, because when I was writing today, I realized sometimes the channel opens, and this is, you know, I want you to hear yourself in this. Sometimes the channel opens and we get a glimpse, and then we shut down. And what do you do then? That's the real work to be done on cracking the resistance code, on getting out of that resistance. Not because the resistance was always there. To be quite honest, you were not born with creative resistance. It was the opposite. Your channels were open. The question is when you start to get glimpses of what it's like when that channel is open, how do you keep it open? How do you make sure the resistance doesn't win? And one of the ways is by cross-training. So one of the ways is by really embracing other modalities of creativity. Okay, so today was just a quick lesson and a kind of a peek into my life on what I'm doing in terms of cross-training as I write my book. So if you haven't heard from me a lot on email, or you're wondering what I'm up to, part of it is that there's no other way around it. A lot of my time is dedicated to finishing my book this month. And I'm close. I'm really close. And we're going to start really grabbing the bull by the horns starting next week and getting prepared for writing over Thanksgiving. We're going to get prepared for being focused around the Christmas, because this is a great time to stay focused. We're going to be preparing for 2021 and programs that you can jump into that are affordable, that'll help you get started quickly, that'll help you get from outline to finish line and beyond as fast as you can. Because right now everything is speeding up, and even though writing does take patience, and everything happens when we take a deep breath and we relax, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And that was a quote by a dear friend of mine, Josh Joss, J-O-S Smith. He's a photographer. And I remember when he told me that, he said, that's the funny part about going slow. That slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So we're going to make the end of 2021 nice and smooth so that when we go into 2021 or 2020, we're going to put the end of 2020 nice and smooth so that when we jump into 2021, there are ways for you to really step into your calling as a writer and step into your calling as a creative and open those channels so that you begin to feel this release and this flow that not only feels good and not only makes you a healthier person, but can also bring you some passive income as well. All right, everyone. I hope you're having a great day and stay tuned. Next week, we're going to have a special show. And if you're not on my email list, get on my email list. You can go to www.donmontifusco.com. And if you sign up for my free breakthrough resistance training, it's a 3-day training, you'll get on my email list. And then you'll be getting all the notifications of the great programs I have coming down the pipeline. All right, everyone. Have a great day.